Hello, Josh, Sam, and anyone who is watching. And welcome back to Lviv and Let Die. Look, our expansion is finally on record. Just did a small, quiet, rumbling burp. And now, we begin a momentous day for the club. It's a new season. We're going to play Olympic Donetsk. You'll remember them from the other year. They pulled off quite a coup by coming up. I think they were fourth, and then they won on the last day. And you'll be able to check better than I can from the last video. Anyway, they came up alongside Arsenal Kiev. And then we will be playing, let's check the old fixture list there, Excelsior. We will be playing Excelsior home and away, although away first, which is good for us, in our bid to get to the third qualifying round of the Europa League. The intention is to get to the group stages because that will give us money. The problem with that is that we have a fairly slim squad because our wage budget went up by £0. Or if it went up by like £2,000 or £3,000, which is not very much. So what we're going to do is these two games are today. I'll record immediately afterwards Sevastopol and Excelsior round 2. Unless even if we get absolutely walloped in this game, Excelsior finished fifth in the Eredivisie last year, 54 points. That is less points than that is one more point than us last year. So they're a point better off and a point better. Although did they have more games? They had 2 more games, so we're better. Now, let's look at some of the players. Transfer centre. Not much has happened. Didn't want to scare you, but not much has happened. Right, we sold Lucas Ola, our goalkeeper from last season, who played reasonably well. Sold him for £250,000 to the Premier League team Dynamo Bryansk in Russia. So, thank you for your service, fella. He's doubled his wage, which is already ridiculous. And off he goes to Dynamo Bryansk. We also gave Hosan Bahadorani off to FBK Kaunas, another team that seemed to have all of our players. Off he goes. There he goes indeed. To the A-League. They have a £325,000 potential buy him in the future clause in that loan. So fine, off he goes. We already got 75 grand for him. That's fine. Then we had 3 relatively long-serving players all leave. Dmitro Dudnik played and helped us get promoted, played a few times as a backup last season and has just been released. It's fine, he was not that great. Kamil Dullman with his sensational name. What is his real name? Sergei Kamidulin. Anyway, he's off. Didn't play for us last season. He played once in the Cup and was poor. Well, he was okay, but we were poor. And he's gone. He was the main goal scorer. He was probably one of my first signings and the main goal scorer in the first couple of seasons, or at least that season, and did well for us and is a nice guy. But thank you very much, Kamil Dullman. And then Petar Perovic. I tried to sign him just to have an extra option. That was my foot moving on the chair, nothing else. But unfortunately, he didn't want to stay because I left it too late when I suddenly realised I probably could do with just keeping him just to have him around. And so we let him go. He played well for us, particularly that season. But he was a good servant for us ever since he came in. Another one of my signings. Good player. Thought we could have got some money for him. Tried to sell him in January. Did not manage to do that. And there he goes on a free. But not money wasted. He did well for us. So thank you again, Petar, and enjoy wherever you end up going. You mug. Now, then, to alleviate the pains that these 5 players have left, although only really you could say one of them, maybe 2 of them are actually ones that need replacing. We brought in Thomas Holly, which I think you might have seen in the last video. He's a youngster. Brought him in for 50k, but technically it was for free. That was the nominal fee, whatever. He came in from Kladno. He'll be okay for us. He's going to be a backup. The idea is to use the fact that he doesn't need to be registered to cover injuries and whatever, but he's not going to be a starter. We then signed Damir Bobic. Good name. He's a defensive centre-back, but he can also play in midfield as a defensive midfielder, so he might do. I'm training him on his passing so that he can still do that. He's coming on a free from Leotard. Obviously, they are actually called Leotard in the Bosnian and Herzegovinian Premier League. But yeah, he's coming on a free, decent player, 25 years old. So okay, we have to register him, but that's fine. We then signed Jaromir Prochaska. He's coming in as our attacking midfieldy option-y thing. He's more physical than the players we currently have, and he's a bit better attacking. Decent player. Okay, not great. I understand that. Possibly not the perfect player, but it was basically, literally, we had about 3 weeks. Sorry, let me just take a tangent. The season ended mid-May. Then there was June, and now it's July, the first week of July, and we're playing our first game. So that was all I managed to fit in, including 2 preseason friendlies. It was the day after each other. So anyway, Jaromir Prochaska, he comes in. He's probably going to be okay for us. We'll keep him for as long as we can. Maybe try and sell him. If not, he'll be able to bridge a gap between being poor but able to sign decent players for free, and hopefully being less poor and being able to put proper money into the club. And then we signed... who was that? Him. So then we signed Radoslav Paripovic. He is a goalkeeper. He's good. He's basically the same as Ola. We signed him on a free, and he's paid half as much as Ola. And we signed this guy, Sevastopol's Mao, the Brazilian left-back, coming in to challenge the Bulgarian we have. Weirdly enough... Okay, so here there are a couple of players. So Aziz Haydarov has come in as well. He is a Uzbek goalkeeper who is not maybe as good as the other fella, so he'll probably be the second choice, but he's coming for £800 as a backup, better than Benjamina, coming in from Bunyodkor Toshkent. So cool, good for him. Possibly the first ever Uzbek player I've ever had. So it's exciting. Did we sign anyone else? Sell anyone else before that? No, we didn't. Okay, so there we go. We are not in brilliant financial situation, which is why the idea is to try and get as far as you can in Europe. Because once you get to the Europa League group stages, that guarantees you 8 games? No, 6 games home and away. 3 games home and away. 6 games in total. And that means that you have some extra sort of money-raising things. We've also moved into our new stadium, which is fun. It's 6,000 seats, and we, so far, this is going to be the first game that we play in it, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can fill it out every game this season, and then next season we can use that to make a case for expanding it, although not expanding it too quickly, because we could also use the millions that will cost to invest in the squad. Let's see. So, what do we do with the team? I've put Bobic in straight off. I'm going to go... like this. Mao, Yilmaz, Ballon. Then in midfield. Oh, yeah, because at the moment we don't actually have any spare attackers because fucking Yantorno is out for 47 days. I think he did something pretty bad. I've also brought in Mikhailo Shpak, the 16-year-old player who I mentioned in the last video. We saw him come through the academy. I put him into the first team squad. He will rotate as much as we can, get him some game time. And we haven't registered Andrei Kubesh. I'm trying to sell him, but nobody wants him because he's rubbish. Oh, Teplica might take him on loan. Well, let's see if we can get rid of him. Yeah, so we're going to play Pitbull on the bench. We're going to play Pitbull on the bench. We're going to put Bogado in, but we're actually going to start Bogado instead of Uncle Ben. And up front, we will have a midfield option to shake off Prochatska. So let's put in Cruz. There we go. We don't really have anyone to go up front if we need them, but I suppose it's just the way it'll have to be. Mao. No, Bobic will take number 4. Prochatska can take number 8. And Mao can have number 14. Lucky boy. That's my favourite football number. So they're playing this team. They've still got Galushkin, your friend and mine. Still quick. He was bad for them. Weirdly, he got about the same statistics as he did when he was playing for us, but he just seems to get a lower rating for them. And do they have another player of ours? I think they signed 2, but it doesn't look like the other one's in the first team squad. Lots of players are going to make their debuts. Darcy Holt is going to kick things off for us with our tactical instructions, and I'm just going to passionately gush all over them. Now, here we go then. So, Lviv versus Olympic Donetsk. Only 2 years ago, this was a second division fixture, second tier fixture. And now it is a Premier League tie. These guys did not get lots of points, and even the champions, because I think these guys came second in the league. They must have done. I can double check afterwards. They came second in the league, and the team that came above them, Arsenal, did not do well either. They didn't even come close to the points tally that we posted the year before, or the record of Ukrainian, who came up in second place in our division. So I think that's true. That might not 100% be right. But Postolka seemed to get pushed off the ball a bit there. Anyway, the point being is I worry a little for them. They might end up this season sort of being struggling quite badly. We'll see. And you can see by what I showed you there about the sort of size of our squad, as you were sort of looking at me going through it, we only really have enough for. We've not got very many players, so I'm worrying that Europe might impact our form a little bit this season, and we don't want to do a Karpati like they did last season, where they got into Europe by coming second and then finished something like 11th, well, not 11th, but like 8th. Which is poor. Postolka puts the ball wide of the bar. We didn't have to keep people away from our main players. So I've also signed up Jan Torno to a new deal. I signed up a couple of other kind of key midfield and attacking and defensive players to new deals in an attempt to, at the very least, make some money out of them if we do end up having to sell them. Gomez is the one I haven't been able to do that to yet, mainly because he was already on quite a large wage, and if I went and offered, like, he wants more money, and we might be able to later on in the season try and negotiate with him again. I just withdrew from a negotiation straight away because he wanted something like 4 or 5 grand. I can possibly maximum offer him. Maximum offer him maybe 3.5 maximum, but then he has to really start stepping it up a bit. But the problem is I don't want to lose him for free, so it might be that I have to sort of take a hit, give him the new contract, and then sell him in the next summer when hopefully we can get a new striker in. But I was looking through the free transfers all through the summer and through even prior to that, and there were not loads of good players that we could sign who were free, who would also not then cost £1 million in tribunal fees or whatever. So yeah, I did the best I could. That's why there's only 5 or so players coming in. The club was also spending money on the new stadium and stuff, so I'm hoping that this year we might start to make some money rather than just constantly losing it. I saw that when we played Shakhtar, actually I'm not sure if I definitely didn't mention it on camera, but whilst I was sort of mucking around in the off season, I noticed that one of Shakhtar's players has a higher wage per week than our entire club has per week. So that's the kind of disparity we're working on here. He was on something like 66 grand, and we only pay 33 grand a week for the entire squad. So it's the kind of things we'll eventually build up to those kind of levels, but for now we have to kind of scrimp and save, and there might be some seasons where it's not as good as it was previously because we're not seemingly, I don't know why, I can't seem to sell players as easily as I could when we were Shalom's manager. Hits the crossbar, great effort. Bodji wins the ball in the midfield there and out to Radosevic. Just watch this. Radosevic finally fit again after his knee problems and then hernia issue. Finally able to play for us again, which is good. Bogado. Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of where we are. They're my thinking patterns. That's where my thinking goes. We have the potential to, I reckon we could probably do better even than we did last season, basically with the same squad. The question is, will they stay fit? The question is, will Europe affect it too much? Postolka hits it hard and low, but a good save. Perez puts the ball in the middle. Oh, it was deflected over from the clearance. That was nicely done from Yefimov. Perez. Go on in. Ndai was the one that I wanted to replace. I think he was probably the one I wanted to replace the most, and it was the one I didn't replace at all. And we also didn't get in another striker. Postolka. Perez puts the middle a bit. Oh, come on. Yeah. So, this is our first game at our new stadium, so maybe we could have a little bit of, let's calmly say I'm far from pleased. Oh, I am a managerial genius. Maybe this can prompt an early goal. what a ball, but Postulka was just what I knew and what quite he was doing, standing miles offside, but or was it only inches? Will we see a replay? No. Okay, Radosevic up to Postulka, Abodji, Radosevic. Oh, yeah, Galushkin goes past him. I said no like a Russian. Galushkin to Sikarula. Puts the ball in the middle and they've handed the ball over. Slogeliashvili, what a name. Slogeliashvili. Good guy. 61 minutes. We don't seem to have done much this half. Die to Radosevic. And Die to Radosevic. Perez to Postulka. Now, Postulka, I can't do any changes up front, and that's kind of seems to be where we've got the, maybe not the problem, but we're not as cutting edge as I'd like us to be. But then that was an issue last season, and we don't have anyone new. So maybe it's not something to be surprised about. Let's bring on Uncle Ben. Still hasn't learnt that left wing role, but he is getting better. Postulka's not playing great, nor is Gomez, but it's just going to be basically the way it is for now. Uncle Ben, on he comes, God's sake. Postulka to Abodji. Abodji through to Gomez, lovely stuff. Prochaska. Nope. Prochaska now is going to get the ball. He gives it to Abodji. Abodji goes to Postulka. Postulka gives it through to Gomez. Oh, he was offside and the goalkeeper made a good save anyway. Disappointing. I also tried to sell Yilmaz, but despite the fact that he was worth something like £900,000 at the beginning of last season, he's now dropped in worth, I think because he's in his last year of his contract, and nobody wanted him. Absolutely, literally nobody. And I tried to get money for him, but nobody wanted him. Lots of people were interested, but by the time it got to the point where they were sort of declaring their interest in him, the amount of money that they were starting to consider they thought was worth it was nowhere near worth it for me. So I said, you know what? Thanks, but no thanks. I'll go with someone else. Prochaska's going to come off. He's not been as devastatingly brilliant as I thought he might be. And if we leave it another few minutes, I'll bring Pitbull on, who will make his first appearance since that injury he had last season. Parvanov out to Perez. Abodji misses out to Bukin. Okay, this is where I'm going to make the Pitbull change. Perez comes off. Probably should have started with Pitbull, really. Pitbull's better, but I'm still slightly concerned about his fitness. Marchenko hits the ball. Paripovic manages to save it, which is good. And here comes Pitbull. Now, we've made our 3 subs. The die is cast. Alea Iaktest. Oh! Gomez scores a free kick of debatable quality. Straight at the goalkeeper, who puts it into the net anyway. That's the first goal at our new stadium, the Lviv Stadium. We used to be called Ukraine, simply Ukraine. Now it's called Lviv Stadium. Medyansky taps the ball, just about gets a hand to it, but it goes through his grip and into the top of the net. 1-0 to Lviv. We'll take it. It's a newly promoted team. We'd hope to do better, especially at home on the first day of the season where they... Oh, no! Oh... I mean, the guy should have done better with his header, but well done, Paripovic, for managing to keep it out by hook or by crook. Postulka now. Postulka. Interesting ball. Gives it up for Abodji to chase. Abodji puts the ball in the middle. No, he doesn't. Oh, sorry. Abodji chased. The ball went in the middle. Gomez didn't quite manage to score it, but probably should have done. Someone's injured. Who is it? Oh, it's Pitbull again. Yeah. That's not Gucci Goo. I'd like it if you moused over that. I'd like it for it to tell you what the injury level is. Would be good. Maybe something to think about for Foot Manager 13, guys. Don't know when you're going to bring that out. Bukin, Galushkin. Don't do it to me, Galushkin. Victor. Okay, it's tense. Pitbull heads back to Galushkin on the edge of the box. Galushkin smashes well over. He scored goals from there for us previously. Some absolute worldies he scored for the club. Back in the old Ukraine days. Pitbull gives it back to Radosevic. Radosevic through to Cruz. Cruz must be able to finish. He does. It's 2-0. We wrap it up right at the death. The 2-0 win over Olympic Donetsk. We are 4th in the table. Hopefully that's where we end up, or maybe 2nd or 3rd or 1st. but not bottom. That would be bad. And, are we going to concede? No, we didn't. Wow, 2 goals and a clean sheet in the league debut of this stadium, with the league debut of a number of new players. Cruz gives it to Aboji. Aboji, big ball up to Pitbull. Pitbull's got the ball. He was offside. Mediansky, big kick up. This must be it now. Pastulka gets the ball, gives it to Uncle Ben, and that's it. We get the 3 points. Lviv start the season, I'm not going to say super strongly, but with a competent performance, which has for a long time been something that has eluded us, or at least on a regular basis. Dynamo Kiev beating last season's champions Metalist 3-1 away on the first day of the season. Not bad for those of us in the league with title ambitions. Also, I'll tell you a fun thing after I've done the old presser, you know. Excellent today. Robert was good. Bobic did well. We are never stopping to look for ways to improve the team. So what I've done is I went out trying to find a badge for Odessa because it upsets me that they don't have a badge. I couldn't find a badge pack for them that I could actually download. But if we go through the league, I did manage to find a kit thing, which for some teams has updated their kits. So look, Karpaty Lviv have very nice kits. And I think Shakhtar has like one really nice kit. There, Ilichevets Mariupol has the nice kit. Dynamo does. Dnipropetrovsk doesn't. Chernomorets doesn't. But, maybe we'll see them occasionally. I know the Shakhtar one does as well. I don't know why we're not on there, because it was a 2015 texture pack, which should have included FC Lviv. In fact, it did, because I saw it on the little sort of teaser thing. So I don't quite know why we don't have a special kit for Lviv, but we don't. It's trying to make some more sort of immersion for us, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen at all. Gavella signed them. Voloshin, don't know who he is. We are not in the top list of La Liga sponsorship deals, which is a shock. Now, I wonder how many of these things we're going to be able to get. Let's go with goalkeepers. 2. Let's go with strikers. For now, let's not... When are they going to be back? 46 days. Is it likely he's going to be able to play? I don't think so at all, so let's not waste time with him. Radosevich for short. Pavlov is homegrown, we'll take him, and Nazarenko. We should get quite a lot of players who are younger than 20, it is, I see. Dai has to play. Parvanov needs to play. Bobic and Bayon need to play. Let's just make sure we've got... this is stressful. Bogado, he's able to be under 21. Cruz, Luis, Uncle Ben, Pitbull. Oh God, we're very close already. Prosachka. Is that someone in every position? I know Bodji needs to be in there. Oh, because we've got 2 players. Okay, so we do have one more spot we can fill. Confirm. Okay. So there's going to be some spaces in our Europa League squad, but it's just the inevitable consequence of not really having enough money to bring in as many players as I would like. I did have a few quarrels with the board over trying to get more scouting range, because I wanted to be able to scout Brazil. I also wanted to be able to get some more Brazilian and South American scouts, but they refused to give me the opportunity to hire anymore, so that's just not happening, unfortunately, at the moment. And basically, everything that I asked for, they said no to. I also asked for something else. So they did agree to bring in a parent club, because I asked to get a parent club to give us some players that we could sign for loans, but they said yes, but then since then I haven't heard anything, so... Bit of Coke Zero. Always looking for sponsors on this channel. Put that in the old bag there. Lean back. I see that there's a transfer offer for somebody, or possibly an offer of a player to come to us. Yeah. Oh, Teplice want Kubesh on loan. We'll allow it. Definitely will allow it. Get out of the club, fella. We don't need you here. Do the smart thing. Did we sell out? We didn't sell out our first game at the stadium. That's a shame. 96% of the stadium full on the opening day. Considering we just got Europe as well, not ideal. Well, I don't know. I'm just considering all the options in the club and the way things should be and the way things are. It's going to take a little bit more planning and effort than I thought. I thought once we got to the top league, I thought it'd be a bit easier. But it's proving that the under 21s rule makes it a little harder. Well, I mean, that was obviously to be expected, but the money that we don't have, it does make for problems. We're nearly $1 million in debt already. I don't really think we have players who we can sell for $1 million and then easily replace anymore. It's not like in the division below. So we sold some more. They've soared by 249 or something like that. Well done us for that. I'm just trying to skip through. This is Kubesh is set to go. Yeah, good. This is now going to skip past a load of times. Yep. Come back, please. 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 Stop. Thank you. Accept. Off you go, fella. Bang. Brewer. What's his name? Eugene Brewer. Because I did find lots of other players who probably would do pretty well for us, but would not be willing to sign for us either because of our reputation or because the money that we have on offer is just way too low. Quite a lot of those players that we're trying to get in who are a bit better than the players we're currently attracting either don't want to come, as I said, because of the reputation of the club, or because they're starting to ask for things like 3,000 to 6,000, whereas most of the players that we've got on now are between sort of 700 and 2,000, with a couple over that who we possibly have paid over the odds for already. So yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough, guys. It's just tough, guys. It's probably the hardest job in football right now. Can we just do that? No. I was trying to skip the game on. Murrayfield, St James's Park. Did I mention this in the last video, or did I just think it to myself? Sergei Boots was signed for Zerko. Well done them. Well done him. What is it? Sergei Boots, when did you leave us? He actually played for Neva last year and didn't play well. That they never play the newly generated stadiums in those lists. I remember when I had a Dover Athletic team far in the future, and their stadium was constantly being picked for Champions League things and whatever. Come on, it takes such a long time to get to Excelsior. The one thing I could think, for example, is if we did sell, if we were to sell, for example, Jan Torno, which I don't want to do, but just for example, the board tend to sell people from above me quite a lot. If they sell him for like £2 million, which they could easily, because he's a very good player, they could probably sell him for close to 10 if they found the right buyer. Then I wouldn't have a problem with that. We could probably use that money to bring in somebody and to at least tide us over to the end of wherever it was we sold him. But I'd be concerned if they did it and only sold him for like 900k, because the board doesn't tend to get the best deal if they do those kind of things where they sell your players out from under you. They don't tend to hardball. They tend to just get the highest bid that they can get quite easily and then sell him off. Whereas I feel like if we could get him, I mean, I know he's injured for now, but if we could get him fit again and scoring upwards of 20 goals before the half of the season, we could theoretically try and sell him in the winter period. But I don't know, guys. I'm just thinking it's these hard decisions that Sam doesn't have to deal with on his incredible Uber game. I'm looking forward to getting to that point, but at the moment we're just not there yet. Last time out we played very well. It does give us confidence. I'm confident as long as we stick to the game plan. I'm fully confident because I don't have the one player I want to say. Is it an advantage to play the away game first? Yeah. And Rene Varane. See, this is the thing. Like, for example, this guy is not someone I'm interested in, but I think it was. I mentioned in the last video that there was a guy who I tried to sign who went to some other Argentinian team, and he went to them. I'm assuming because they probably gave him slightly more money and because their reputation was higher. I hope that doesn't put people down too much. Yeah, and so I'm just. And we still can't pay any money for people. I know we've spent 55,000 for that Holly guy, but I mean, my hope is that we can then sell him for more. And at the moment, is that the most money we've spent? I think we also spent 50 grand on someone else, but we'll see. Western Supermare, how are you doing? 23rd in the championship, although you haven't actually started yet, so that's fine. They're actually not even tipped to come top. They're tipped to come fourth, so that does concern me. I do hope they go back up. I would hate for all of that work done so long ago to be wasted. Oh, and it doesn't look like we're going to get a parent club. Cool, thanks guys. Confirm. We can't add anyone else? No. Confirm. We've already done that. Don't make me do it again. And then, of course, thank you, Ukrainian League. 1, 2, at least we have 3 days now to recover rather than just basically the 2 days or whatever it was we had at occasions last season. Although, not as bad as the situation Sam had where he had one game on like Saturday at, or it was something like Sunday at, Sunday late kickoff and then Monday early kickoff or something incredible. So at least we don't have that. Now then, this is the first, possibly, I think it must be the first ever European tie for FC Lviv. So we're going to make the most of it. And I hope we're going to go out there and we're going to kick some booty bottoms. Good. Let's play with Cruz in the middle. And let's give Pitbull a start. Out on the right, this is, I would say, undoubtedly the strongest team we could theoretically field at the moment because Yantuano's out injured. You could make an argument that maybe we could instead play Bobic instead of a Bodji and then put Ballon at the back to give us a bit more height and to give us a little bit more sort of steel. But, oh, that's a good colour scheme. Thanks, game. Black and luminous red versus red and luminous black. And we're the red circles with the black lines and they're the black circles with the red lines, just in case you were wondering. Postulka goes through his man. 16 minutes gone. Oh, we've had a shot. That was our first shot in Europe. Beautiful. One shot. We're dominating. Actually, we are doing quite well possession-wise, weirdly. Bogado. Wheatland teams are not known for their possession-based football. Gomez gives it to Parvanov. Parvanov to Abodji. Parvanov to Cruz. Cruz to Radosevic. Abodji. Cruz goes for a long-range screamer, but curls it harmlessly wide. Gomez now. Gomez to the back post and die. Oh, mate, away goals count for more, though. You should have put that away. Oh, we're doing pretty well against this lot. Cruz, Abodji. Didn't even look at them. That's how bloody confident I am, mate. Abodji. Cool. This reminds me of the early days of Schlansk in Europe, and I really enjoyed those times. It was frustrating, and it took a long time to make progress, but once you get progress, it is fun. Postulka. Oh, and are we just getting called by Masha? I'm getting called by Masha. I'm going to answer the phone. Hang on. I'm going to mute myself. Sorry, I missed both goals. Oh my God. Ah! Masha calling me, of course. Gomez with another free kick. Unbelievable. Also in off the keeper. Beautiful stuff. And the header from Bobic was delightful. 2-0 up away from home in Europe. I'm sure our fans are being respectful, as Eastern European fans tend to be, well known for. 2-0 up away from home in Europe. What is this? This is only we are 5 seasons in, but then, to be fair, the first 3 of those were in League One. Gomez to Pastulka. Pastulka gives it to Cruz. Cruz gives it through Pitbull. Pastulka, greedily takes it because he was miles offside if he just left it for Pitbull. But look at this. We're absolutely dominating. They've got an injured left wing back as well. He's a right wing back. Oh, Bobic now gives away a foul. Could this be a twisty-turny point? Man, imagine if we got to the Europa League group stages. That would be really cool, man. I'm excited about that if we get there. Fuck. Europa League group stages. I think we could get there, I think we've got a pretty decent team. I think this league gives you the opportunity to get better players than the Polish one does. So you can maybe further... Oh, go on. Gomez is through. Stupid. Gives you the opportunity to sort of get those players because there's no work permit issues, which I'm not sure. I don't remember if there were in Poland, actually, now that I've said that. But I remember that it was a little harder to get people to come to that league. I think maybe the Ukrainian league is of a higher... Well, it definitely is of a higher reputation, the league. So maybe that's what is helping us. But Persson puts the ball over the bar. But yeah, this is going much better than I thought it was. It's a shame that I wasn't here to actually comment over the 2 goals that we scored. We've got some players who are tired now. Pitbull's tired, so we'll bring on Perez. Cruz is also tired, so let's bring on Prochaska. And, well, why not? Well, let's go with the old classic 3 across the middle changes, because we can't do anything up top anyway. Pastulka not playing well, underlying the fact that we need another striker. Maybe we'll try and get one. I wonder how much prize money you get from winning these. Probably not very many, but oh, go on, Pastulka. He scores as well. Look at that. First goal of the season for Pastulka. Beautiful finish as well. 20 goals out. Lovely stuff. So who else is playing? Who on earth? Oh, so they're a Cypriot team winning 2-0 against Rudar. Plieva, who are possibly Bulgarian. Boleslav beating I guess they are Israeli. Balzan youths. Don't know who they are. Falkirk losing. Carrick of Ireland, or possibly Northern Ireland, I'm not sure, beating a Romanian side. Anyone else we recognise? Dynamo Minsk, my former team. Oh, they've scored. Vink. Nice work. Well done, Excelsior. Dynamo Minsk, my former side, already back in Europe. I wonder if any of my good players are playing for them. Anyone else we recognise in this old listo there? No, doesn't look like it really. Dynamo Moscow are absolutely walloping them, whoever on earth they are. Uncle Ben runs down the left wing. Is he going to cross the ball in? He does. No one was able to get there though. No one was able to get there. Oh, they've scored again. What the hell? I got a missed phone call and then stupid. 2 goals for them in 2 minutes. What the fuck? Benali puts it to Vink. Vink scored twice in 2 minutes. That's not cool. Although even 3 away goals away from home is great for us in Europe. And anyone else there? Oh, Zaza, everyone's favourite, basically our favourite parent club. And Wisła. Perez puts the ball to Parvanov. We're working it down. Oh, Torvardsson. Or Horvardsson, not sure how to say that letter. Prochaska to Gomez. Gomez turns and puts the ball wide. Puts the ball poorly wide. Uncle Ben gives it to Gomez now. We've got the opportunity now to wrap this up, surely. Uncle Ben hits the ball over the bar. Unfortunate. 3-2. There's a crazy 5-minute period there. Exciting. It lets everyone think that Excelsior are still in this. Parvanov out to Abogi. Abogi out to Parvanov. What's he going to do with it? He's going to go into space. Puts the ball in the middle. Gomez turns. And Pastulka scores his second. Puts away the challenge of Excelsior. and Lviv are 4-2 up in Europe. The Europa League is a competition that I really quite like. It's a bit more fun than the Champions League. Champions League's mostly, I mean, in this sort of weird reality, it's a bit different because the other teams can sort of come into the Champions League and stuff. But in real life, it's basically a closed shop. So the Europa League's a bit more fun, and FC Lviv are enjoying that fun at the moment. First ever European tie. Gomez puts the ball in. Stevens manages to hold on, puts it up towards Puric, who doesn't play a good ball. Uncle Ben intercepts. Can we get a fifth? Parvanov. Abodji puts it through to Gomez. Gomez back out to Uncle Ben. Uncle Ben only needs to whip the ball in. Doesn't. Gives it to Parvanov. Parvanov shoots, weirdly. And they manage to clear, although not properly. They've now got a foul. Oh, could we have a fifth? FC Lviv. Gomez goes for another free kick, but hits it well over the bar. It's pretty predictable, even though he has scored 2 in 2 games now. Gomez heads the ball on. Postulka, could he get the hat-trick? Oh, just a little bit more composure, young man. Just a little bit more composure and you could have had a hat-trick on your European debut. And then you could have added a couple of zeros to your worth as well. That would have been good. Well, look at that as a result. 4-2 away from home in Europe. Yes. Let's say it with me now, please. Come on. 4-2. And now we only have to go through 61 messages before we can see what everyone thinks of the game. We're nearly there. Stop. I want to see the post-match interview. Where's the... Okay, here we go. Quality of possession. Highly polished performance from the Lviv players saw their team run out 4-2 winners over Excelsior at Łódź. Postulka scored a brace. Let's see how good he is. He's bad at finishing. He's training finishing and he's bad at it. That is a shame. Anyway, we did well. 4-2. And Damir Bobic got a goal. I like saying Bobic. It was a great moment for Damir. Certainly helped us out. Dick Vink. Fella. Good name. He had a good game. Postulka was simply faultless. Yes, I mean, he's a good player. Well done. I mean, he's not that good, but you know, he did his job. And Postulka show delights Wheatland. Now, we've already said what we're going to do in the next video. We're going to follow this European trip as far as we can. So, I'll be back in literally 1, 2, 3 days. We'll play Sevastopol, and then we will play the 4 days until we play Excelsior again back at Lviv Stadium. And we will hopefully qualify for the 3rd round of the Europa League qualifying, which means that if we do, we'll probably be back, I'd say around here, maybe even here, for the next rounds of fixtures. So, it's been a good video. It's been a successful video. It's only 1 game of the season, but we're up in 3rd. See you in the next one, guys. Bye.